Hello, welcome to Space Dust Tarot. Today on this video I'm going to be doing an honest personal review of the Wandering Star Tarot deck by Kat Pierce. Now this was not a first deck by any means. I already had a few decks before this one. I already had some understanding of tarot. I was already comfortable with the meanings of the cards. I had a couple of other decks, maybe 3-4 decks that I was very comfortable with. I was already reading for other people and I was reading for myself a lot. I was studying the meanings of the decks, but not very deeply. So I had some understanding, but it wasn't very deep understanding of the tarot and symbology and how it all works. And I decided to buy this deck, well, first of all, because I found it really pretty. And second, because I could see that it had keywords on the cards. And I didn't have a deck with keywords. And so I thought that I should try and see how I get on with a deck with keywords. And also because it's a pretty deck. And I thought that reading for other people with this deck might be interesting. Also, I was exploring other decks, so I had a few that I was very comfortable with. I was exploring other decks, and deck collectors out there know that it's a slippery slope. Once you start buying decks, it becomes a problem, and you start buying a lot of decks, and basically it just grows and grows and grows. But in any case, I'm gonna give you the honest review of this one because I don't agree with my first understanding of the deck and the reasons why I purchased it. And I also don't agree with some of the reviews of it. Although I must say I still find this deck fantastic and very useful, maybe not for the same reasons as I thought first, as the reasons that I bought it. So, as I said, this is the Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce. This is all, she says, it's all hand-drawn. It's all her art and her interpretation. And it's a hay house. So you can see here the usual hay house box, which I quite like because it's not too big, but it's handy. So you can see the box, even the box is really pretty. I mean, you can see that the guidebook, and you can look at the backs of these cards. I mean, they're amazing. Even the back of the cards. I know that some people don't like eyes looking at them. I don't have a problem with eyes looking at them, but look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then continuing with the box, there is a universe inside you, is what it says in the box. So really love the box, really pretty. Let's have a look at the guidebook. I also like the guidebook, considering that it's small, so to fit in that box. It actually has quite a lot of information about it, and it has a few explanations about the deck and about majors and minors, very foundational information. It has a few spreads. It has its own spread for this deck, and it has the Celtic cross spreads. And then for each of the cards, and this includes majors and minors, it has a short explanation about it, what it is, and then it has this quote at the end that I really like. And it gives you, it's more like it gives you the meaning of the card, but a lot of it is about advice. It's about what it means to you. So it doesn't go into like what the symbology is, because this doesn't go with the symbology of the Rider-Waite-Smith, for instance. So the meanings are the same as the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's obviously drawn in a completely different way. And I like that it's kind but to the point. So it's deep and it's helpful, but it's not like harsh at all. And you're going to see that some of the cards, the most challenging cards here, are actually really pretty. So it's like a guiding deck, and I think it's good for people who might be going through something more challenging in life, more difficult, and it's quite, even though it supports you and tells you what you need to hear, it does so in a kind way. So going back to the card, so this is the usual cardstock of Hay House. So it's a bit thick. I like to ripple shuffle, and I cannot do it with this one. So what I do usually with this kind of deck is if I really need to shuffle it really well, I divide it into 2 and then 4 piles. So I divide it into 2 and then divide this one and shuffle this one, etc. And then mix it all up, and then overhand shuffle is fine. I mean, you can see that there's a bit of like wear and tear in here. So if you want to overhand shuffle, sometimes it gets a bit caught in there, and I use this quite a fair bit, so it didn't get much damage from it. But I didn't use it like for every day for a month or anything like that in a very prolonged way. So I think it might get more damaged along the way. And to be honest, a lot of the decks that I use are not Hay House. So I don't have that much experience about this kind of deck and how long it lasts. So anyway, let's go into the cards. So this is very, very different deck, even though, as I said, it follows the Rider-Waite-Smith kind of meanings. It's completely redrawn. And as I said, it has the keywords in here, and the way that the keywords are in the image, it's not like in your face. So it's kind of like, it actually makes you look at the cards and try to look for it a little bit more. So it's not invasive, it's not in your face. And one of the things that I liked about this is that there's a lot of like female characters that are usually male. So like for instance, I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, so the Magician, for instance, it's right in front of me. The Magician is usually a male, and in this case, it's a female, which is quite nice. And it is diverse in a way. So, but look at how pretty this is. I mean, it has a lot of eyes, and again, it's for some people that might not work, but look at this. Look at all of the detail. It's absolutely gorgeous. This, and I really enjoyed looking at it and starting to work with it, just going through, flipping through all of the cards and seeing you know, where the words are, and taking a look at the details that it has. So one of the things that I have is I don't usually like the Hierophant cards, especially if they are very religious like, and this one was different, but it still feels a bit cultish. So I'm a bit dubious about, like, Hierophant and I have like a love-hate relationship, but in this case it's not your normal Hierophant that is like religious like the Pope, but it still looks a little bit cultish. I'm not sure, but this Lovers card is absolutely gorgeous as well. But anyway, so I really like the colors, I really like the drawings, I really like the way, the softness in it. It's not harsh, even in the harshest cards. For instance, if we go to Death, I mean, look at this, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's no, if you don't understand the Death card, so if you're reading for someone else and they see the Death card and they panic because they don't understand exactly what it means, and they see this, it's not as scary. It's a lot nicer. And then you have the meanings, the transformation, the new beginnings in here. So especially if you're reading to someone else, or if you're reading to someone who's more fragile, I mean, this is a very good deck for that. And there's a few cards. I mean, look at the Tower. Even the Tower is beautiful, and it's still like a difficult card, but it doesn't look as scary this way. And don't get me wrong, this deck still goes deep. This deck still goes within you. It's not superficial at all, but it's a little bit lighter and softer, I think. So Oh, and it has 2 extra cards, by the way. So it has 80 cards. So it has the Mother Star and the Creator. And it's a yes or no card as well, which again are very, very beautiful. So one of the things that I've noticed with this is that, and this is starting like a little bit more of a one, I don't like it as much as I thought I would kind of side of things, is that some of the cards are very different from what I was expecting. And they don't really resonate with me in the way that I see the cards meaning in other decks and in general. And one of them, for instance, the 5 of Wands, which is, here it says competition, debate, defense. Yes, that's fine. Usually we see like competition and challenges and things like that. But I'm seeing like these 2 leopards maybe looking at each other, and I don't sense that competition and you know, that feeling of the 5 of Wands from these cards. I don't really get it. And some of them have as well. So if you're looking, maybe you don't like, some of them are like animals, like we've seen these 2, and I don't really, at least this far or at the time, didn't really relate that much with animals in the deck because I couldn't read their expressions, and so I would prefer humans or in each of the cards. But sometimes I get a little bit confused because the 6 of Wands, it looks like it's supposed to be celebration. It's to be, I mean, it's triumph. It says glory, victory. But it seems like the owl is just grabbing onto that and it's being like really, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know the word. I will come back to it probably. But anyway, there are a few of those that I find that like I don't really understand it. Like the 10 of Wands, yes, you have a lot of weight, but why all the fire around it? And again, there might be reasons why the artist drew it in this way, but I had some difficulties in understanding this. Some of the cards in here. But again, like a lot of them, the kings are very beautiful. They look a lot more compassionate. So in some decks, the kings can be look a bit arrogant or a bit, I don't know, full of themselves or like strong coming. And these ones are quite kind, which I think is a good way of seeing it. But so as I said, a lot of the cards and most of the cards have a lot of the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. They depict the same things as the Rider-Waite-Smith, but some of them, like the 8 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups, fine, you have the 7 Cups, you have the different things, you have to make choices. The 8 of Cups, this doesn't look like the 8 of Cups for me. And even those keywords say change, shift, and change. The 8 of Cups is usually, traditionally, you're walking away from something so you're turning your back on the 8 Cups because they don't fulfill you anymore, that there's something else that you're looking for. So you're walking away from them and trying to find that. And I don't really get anything from this. I mean, there's an octopus with several, I mean, there's no walking away. Even if we see it in terms of like change, okay, maybe it changes color, but this really, I really don't resonate with this card at all. And there are a few of those that I like that. Now, the reason why I was wrong, or I think I was wrong in terms of like, maybe this is good for beginners or something, is that some of the words can be a little bit confusing in terms of the meaning of the cards. Again, the eight of Cups is one of them. Also, what I think is important. So if you want to learn tarot, but you want to learn it for yourself, and you don't want to go deep into the study of all of the symbology or anything, you just want to read for yourself now and then, and that's fine. That's not a problem at all. And you have 1 or 2 decks and you use them and you get used to them, then you can use this, certainly, and you can use the guidebook, and you can get used to the meanings of the cards, and then you can read easily with this. That's fine. But if you want to go deep into the study of tarot and understand the symbology and understand, so that you can learn enough so that you can pick up any deck and understand the deck and understand what it's telling you and be able to read it. And that means the basic symbology that exists in the Rider-Waite-Smith that some of the other decks kind of bring in, then this is not the one, because this has its own symbology. This has, so you don't go and look at the blue skies mean something, or maybe looking, one of the things that I can see is that they're all looking at you, straight at you. So they don't indicate movement, they don't indicate what are they looking at, is it the future, is it the past, they're just like straight at you. And the faces, again, the expression is the same in all of them, not to mention, you know, the animals, it makes it even harder. So this is another card that I had issues with, which it says highs, lows, conflict, tension, and then it repeats, and for the Knight of Swords, and that's not exactly, yes, maybe conflict and tension, yes, if they speak too much and they don't think before they speak, but it's not how I see the cards, really, the meaning of the card, and this highs and lows. So again, it has its own interpretation, and after you have an understanding, if you want, like with me, I could pick up this, even though I didn't resonate with some of the cards, I picked it up and I could read it and it was fine, and I didn't need the keywords, I didn't need to understand, you know, the meanings of the cards. I already knew that, so I could use it, and I read to other people with this, and it is accurate, and it is a good deck for you to read for other people. But if you are just actually starting and wanting to understand tarot, I don't think this is a good deck for beginners in that way, and that's why it might feel controversial. But I don't think, and even like over time, I am of the opinion, like many people, that keywords are actually not useful at all. I think for you to understand the tarot deeply and to make that a part of you, and if you want to read for other people, you need to understand the symbology, and the symbology is the easiest way for you to understand the tarot, understand the meaning of the cards, and then use that in any deck that you might come across. So then you can use that knowledge, and you can see, you can make the correlations, you can see where the cards, where the characters are looking at, their expressions. I mean, some of them are crying, that's fine, but they're still looking at you, and they're still very, yeah, as I said, I love this deck. I've used it extensively. I will still use it, and with other people, whenever they ask for it, I still use this deck. I just put it in order, back in order, just to show it to you. I still use this deck. I like using it for other people. Is it a beginner's deck? Yes and no. I don't advise this one as a beginner's deck if you really truly want to understand tarot. I think with any deck, you need to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith first and try to understand the symbology of that one, and then use that. If you don't like it, then use a deck that follows it closely, and just use both of them, and always go back to the Rider-Waite-Smith and their symbology. And I don't think that works with this deck at all. So yes, I recommend this deck. It is beautiful. It gives good readings. It goes deep. It's a deep understanding. It's kind, but not to the point that it doesn't tell you how it is. But for a beginner, again, if you just want to read for yourself and have one deck and just do it like that, it's fine, and this can help with keywords. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner. I think there are better decks out there. I'm sure that I will review them as well, that I think are better for beginners. That said, still love this deck, as I said. So this is my honest review. I know that some people might disagree. I really don't think it's a beginner's deck, but it is beautiful. So please feel free to buy it because it gives good readings, as I was saying. So that was it. That is my, oh, I forgot to say that this is the normal kind of size, deck size, the card size as well. It's maybe slightly wider, but not that much. It's just like a lot thicker. So it might be more difficult to shuffle and to ripple shuffle, as I said at the beginning. But yes, so these are my ramblings, and apology for the rambling. Yeah, this is my review. So let me know if you have this deck, if you're thinking about purchasing this deck. I will do reviews of more decks. Some of them are better for beginners, and I will put a few of them on. I think I'm going to be doing these every 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll alternate good for beginners, like my first few decks, with others that are maybe more advanced, with a mix of them, and just honest reviews of the decks that I've used. Some of them are going to be first impressions as well, as I open the deck and I have my first impression even before working with it. So subscribe, and you know what to do. Subscribe, follow, comment, all of those things. If you feel like it, I will be doing more of these reviews more regularly. So thank you very much for your attention. Again, a lot of rambling, but I hope you found this useful, and I will see you soon.